That's great. Okay, so welcome. We flow gently into the second half, and after the excellent talk by David Farrant, we open it up to questions and comments. And I can see Ross has one, and then Tab.
Yes, sorry.
When you think about the bedding from the hospital, if the judge didn't believe what you told the court, why did they think that you? What did they think that you'd taken it for? Did they have some alternative?
The police had two alternative charges on the sheets. I just call it the sheets charge.
Yeah.
One was receiving stolen property, and the other was actually stealing it. They had two alternative charges.
But so they thought that you actually broke into the hospital to steal a couple of sheets and a blanket and nothing else.
All they did was, on the sheets and the blankets, it had the name of the hospital inscribed on them in red sign, yeah. So they just assumed that, Ross, I don't really know anything. It's a good point, actually. Yeah. But as I said, they were issued to this nurse who I refused to name before. And that was, although I got 8 months from that.
8 months stealing a set of bedding?
Yes, 8 months, but it was reduced on appeal. Well, no, I'm sorry. The sentence still stood, but it was made concurrent.
Thank you. Tan.
Just start my question by saying something. In the 70s, I had a friend who was, we used to go walking in Nunhead Cemetery. Now, 70s and 80s, right up until an incident happened with a local woman's dog got shot. People used to go to Nunhead Cemetery, take up the bodies, steal the gold, and leave the bodies lying about. You could walk past. You had them all the time. The police didn't seem to be that bothered. Why you?
Well, there's something I haven't really had time to go into on this talk. I was well known locally. As I said to you, I was performing the rituals at night in Highgate Woods with other people involved in Wicca. Why me? Because honestly, I'm not avoiding it, but that's a really good question. I'm not quite sure.
Because these other people didn't get any problems, not for a long time.
No, the police made me, as I said, the police definitely made me a scapegoat for the vandalism at Highgate. Why me? Because I suppose in those younger days, I just didn't give a damn. I didn't care what people thought of me, I didn't care what I said. I was never out to insult people or hurt people. But at the same time, I was, believe it or not, I was never anti-religious. I was never anti-Christian. I said this in court, which really upset the judge. I said, I am not against true Christianity. I said, what I am against and would speak out about is man-made Christianity. That is, people use the name of God to go to war or to kill other people, or to say in church, God, please go out before me and destroy my enemies. That, to me, that sort of God is a devil. Now, I said that in court. I didn't hold back in saying it. I said there is an infinite divine principle which we appreciate exists. I said it is neither male nor is it female. It's both. It's both aspects. One aspect is governed by the sun, the other aspect is governed by the moon, as I tried to explain before. I just didn't care.
Can I just say that the one motivation that most of these people had who were taking the bodies in their head, they were mummified, and mostly they had jewellery from the Victorian times that they had a favourite ring. And they were basically trying that. It was about money. It wasn't about religion. So perhaps it was because simply they were persecuting you for being not of their religious type. But they didn't bother about people stealing stuff from them. They just only...
Well, there certainly was a lot of grave robbing.
Yeah.
I don't mean bodies, I mean
jewellery
and the lead off the coffins.
I was about to say that there was a lot of lead being stolen.
Yes. there was lots of dad being stolen. I mean, on a big scale. There was a gang of people that used to go there and just take it away. There was also a group of practicing Satanists who were really genuinely using Highgate Cemetery at that time. Because we discovered the demands, we discovered the remains of their ceremonies. And the whole of the police trial against me, but basically was that I was involved in Satanism and black magic. Well, I was always warned against the dangers of Satanism. This is a lethal practice. I've said in the past that people that practice it, people that indulge in it, they degenerate spiritually. That's why it's so dangerous. That's why I've never had anything to do with it, because people like the police who don't understand me and even some people, some members of the public, they think Wicca is automatically put Wicca down to Satanism and black magic because they don't really understand what it's all about. Wicca is just a religion based on the powers of nature, powers inherent within ourselves. It's also a religion of fertility, and it teaches how to combine the macrocosm and the microcosm. That's powers within ourselves, powers within our consciousness, to powers in the cosmos. But there's nothing black magical about it. But that part of it isn't understood. And that's what I was up against in court. So I had a fanatical judge who's now dead, Judge Argyle. And may I just finish answering your question by saying this? I'm quick because I don't want to go on too much about it. Judge Argyle was the same judge. I don't know if you remember the Oz trial, but I think Gareth even referred to it. I can't remember. Anyway, when that trial was going on, they burned an effigy of Judge Argyle outside the Old Bailey. It caused a public and he sentenced them to 2 years in prison because they did a rude cartoon of Rupert Bear or something in an underground paper, and it caused such an outrage that I believe it was, I don't think the sentences were squashed, but they were immediately released from prison. And who should I get but the very same judge that had had an effigy of himself burned outside the Old Bailey? He was right before him, accused of sending voodoo dolls to the police. Look, I didn't stand a chance.
No. Thank you.
Thanks. Ross, yes.
Yeah, just a comment regarding the Alter trial. Felix Dennis was one of those accused, and I did meet him some time ago. But nowadays, I believe he's a millionaire, and his name is on the rich, the Sunday Times rich list. So he's done all right for himself.
I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that. I'm glad to hear that. Anyway.
Yeah, he's done all right.
Anyone else?
Come on, somebody.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
David, in all your years as an investigator, you mentioned Satanism. Have you ever encountered something personally which you consider to be truly evil?
Yes, the only time in my life I've ever seen anything as vivid was when I saw the apparition at Highgate Cemetery. I got the impression, as other people had, I wasn't the first one that seen it, that it seemed to exude a feeling of intense evil and coldness. It's the only way I could describe it. Or maybe a better word is not so much evil, but negativity. Because things of a psychic nature, they often manifest according to their sort of their nature. That thing, that apparition, I believe was earthbound, somehow attracted the earth with pain, and when it chose to, it could manifest itself to unsuspecting witnesses, but you weren't even expecting to see it, by the way. But Well, that is really the answer to that. That was something I would describe as very psychically negative, that apparition that I witnessed at Highgate Cemetery.
Can I make a comment here? Deb, I mean, not recently, I met a number of Satanists. Most of them strike me as a bunch of crap. When I didn't mean this man, but his ex-girlfriend told me about it. He had a demon painted on his skateboard. And he gave her a sort of cheap gold-plated necklace and told her, I tore this from the neck of a fresh corpse I disinterred last night. And yeah, it's sort of, a lot of them are just quite simply posers.
Is this true? Is this another of your jokes?
No, it's not a joke. Well, I mean, I didn't meet this man personally, as an ex-girlfriend told me, but then there was, I've forgotten the names, but the chaos magicians got fed up with the would-be Satanists. They said, anybody with any real experience of Satanists quickly loses the crikey, these chaps worship the devil shock value and just wants them to get out of the way to the bar.
Anyone else?
Sorry. No, you. I've had it. So.
I was just going to ask, are you currently investigating anything?
Our investigations mostly take place in the summer, for obvious reasons. As you may have gathered, I have a foot injury now. I find it really difficult to get around anyway, so we have to go in cars and that sort of thing. I'm actually starting the third volume of my book now. Now, that second volume took me about 18 months of sleepless nights to write. I was literally wasn't going to bed before it was light. And it was so much work, and I had boxes upon boxes of police statements, witness statements, court statements to go through before the first chapter, which was about the trial. It had to be accurate, it had to be right, it had to be dead on, because I wouldn't having certain other people accusing me of forgetting dates or changing dates. But the answer to your question is yes, I'm always investigating things. And the last one was only last year, I think it was that 2 years ago, we went to the Silent Pool.
Yeah, we've been to Silent Pool, we've been to Hellfire Caves.
And Borley Rectory.
Borley Rectory.
I was what's left of Borley Rectory.
Yeah, right, I just, by the way, took a photograph, not the Borley Rectory, but the neighbouring church, and there was this mysterious sort of thing.
There's nothing left of Borley Rectory now, but we went up there, as we always do. I'll photograph the area, and we genuinely have a photograph, and it's not fake, and I don't know what it is, but it wasn't even
some mysterious white thing sort of floating around.
It wasn't even the Borley church, was it? It was
no, it
the
was
next church.
The church, which was
Liston.
Liston.
Yeah. So on that occasion, we actually think we've got a ghost photograph. So, but yes, I investigate these cases all the time. It's not actually visiting the actual sites. I'm in contact with people by phone, by email, and I'm making records, I'm making notes of everything. I'm trying to accumulate information. So I hope that answers your question.